Yes, you can use your VA loan to buy a duplex or triplex. And honestly, if you're eligible for a VA loan and you're not at least thinking about buying multifamily properties, you're leaving a massive opportunity on the table. So today I'm breaking it all down. This is how the VA loan actually works for multifamily. What are the rules, what you need to watch out for, and why this might be one of the smartest moves you can make to kickstart your real estate wealth and your net worth. So stick around until the end where I promise I'm going to give you a no BS checklist on how to use your VA loan to buy your first rental property. Hey, if this is the kind of tactical boots on the ground info you want more of, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe, and let's make sure that you never miss the real stuff about building real wealth through real estate. All right, let's get into it. I am Bud Evans. I am a retired Air Force officer. I am a retired cop, and I am a full-time real estate investor. I've used creative financing, VA benefits, flips, BRRRRs to build multiple rental portfolios, and now I coach others, especially vets and first responders, on how to do exactly the same thing. I've made all the mistakes, so you don't have to. So let's get down to it and talk about VA loans and multifamily stuff. So first, what kind of properties can you actually buy with a VA loan? Here's the simple version. You can buy a single family home. You can buy a duplex. You can buy a triplex. You can buy a quad or fourplex. The VA loan caps at 4 units, but it's still pretty huge because in one move, you can go from zero to multiple doors, all with zero money down. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works. Imagine living in one unit, renting out the others, and having your tenants pay your mortgage. If you watch my previous videos, you know that I'm a big fan of house hacking, and that's what this is called. It's one of the fastest ways to get ahead financially while you're still living in your property. Second, what are the rules for using your VA loan on multifamily property? So here are some important guidelines that you really need to know. Rule number 1, you must live in one of the units. You cannot fake that. It is a deal breaker. The VA loan is for residences, not investment property. So you can buy a single family home with more bedrooms than you need, a duplex, triplex, or quad, but you have to live in one of the units for at least 12 months. This is where it gets good though. After that, you can move out, rent it, and go snag another VA loan if you're eligible, or you have or you just refinance out of it and use it again. Second, the property must be VA approved. This means it can't be flip status or distressed. It's got to meet basic livability standards: safe, sound, sanitary, separate entrances for each unit, separate living facilities, kitchens, bathrooms, etc. So no, you can't go buy the crazy fixer-upper with the hole in the roof. Now, there is something that you can do later on with a VA construction loan, but that's not what we're talking about here. The appraisal process is going to check for health and safety, so make sure that you're buying something that's functional. Rule number 3 is that rental income can sometimes help you qualify. Here's where it gets a little spicy. If you're buying a 2 to 4 unit property, the VA allows you to use projected rental income from the other units to help you qualify for your loan. That's you, Airman Basic, or that's you, A1C, that's you, E4 Mafia. There are specifics on how much they count, usually 75% of the projected rents, but it can seriously boost your purchasing power. Think about it. Here you are in E4. You're not just qualifying based on your W-2 anymore. You're qualifying based on your W-2 plus the building's earning potential. And that is a game changer. Third, what are the pros of using your VA loan for a multifamily property? Look, I'm a retired police officer and a retired U.S. Air Force officer and a full-time real estate investor, mentor, and coach. Over the years, I've underwritten over $100 million in deals. I built a $10 million portfolio, and I've helped more than 300 people get their first rental property. And I've been exactly where you are right now, which is why I teach this. I know what it feels like to want more freedom, to want your time back, to want a plan B or even a plan A that's not tied to a boss, a badge, or getting deployed to some battlefield. But maybe you're thinking, well, I don't have the money. I don't know where to start. What if I screw this up? What if it's just another scam? Well, let me tell you something real. I used to be concerned about that stuff too. And that's why I built the Rental Property Academy. It's to take you from wherever you're starting and get you fully trained to buy your first or your subsequent rental property in just a few months. It's a video series with no fluff, no sketchy tactics, no guru nonsense. It is a self-paced video course made for working people with real lives. Inside the RPA, I'm going to walk you through my 4-pillar process, the exact blueprint that I used to build my rental portfolios that actually work. Pillar 1 is funding, where I show you how to get access to the capital you didn't even know you had, even if you don't think that you can afford to invest right now. Pillar number 2 is creating deals on demand, where you're going to learn how to find the right markets, spot the right properties, and generate leads so you never feel stuck again by networking with wholesalers and real estate agents. Most of my properties are now coming from the MLS, and I use an agent in all of my markets. And pillar number 3 is the investor's toolbox. This is where I'm going to give you the real stuff, the checklists, standard operating procedures, and the frameworks that I use to analyze deals, talk to agents, manage contractors, and protect your time. Speaking of time, pillar number 4 is optimization and scaling. Because once you buy your first deal, you're going to want to know how to turn 1 into 2, 2 into 10, without it owning your life. So before we continue, let's talk about something. If you're a vet, if you're a cop, or someone who just wants their way out of the grind, you're more than capable of doing this. I did it. You just need a path that works for you. And that's what this is. The Rental Property Academy is built to be a straight up self-paced and tactical. You can knock it out in a weekend, or you can take take one module at a time over a couple of months to get your feet in the door. But either way, when you finish, you're going to have a clear plan. You're going to have the right tools, and you're going to have the confidence to finally get that rental property locked down. Right now, the Rental Property Academy is just $97, but in June, the price goes back up to $150. So if you've been on the fence, this is your window. Sign up now, and let's get you out of the someday thinking and into the first rental deal. You spent your life serving others. Let's serve yourself. You've got what it takes. Let's make it happen. So now let's run this VA loan process like it's an SOP. Let's go over the pros and cons. First, it's zero down payment. That's the obvious one. No 20% down, no 3.5% FHA loan. You roll up, you qualify, and in many cases, you're putting 0% down and you're financing your VA loan fee back into the loan. Pro number two, no PMI. Even FHA loans are going to hit you with PMI if you don't put down 20%. The VA loan is no PMI. That keeps your monthly payment lower and more of your money goes towards paying down your principal. Here's pro number three. You're going to build equity while you live for free. Your tenants are going to be paying your mortgage. You're living in your unit, you're building equity month by month, and you're not draining your own savings by paying your mortgage. So here's pro number four. You're going to launch your real estate portfolio without taking massive risk. Instead of buying a single family house that just costs you money, you're buying an income producing asset that sets you up for the next move, and you're not paying rent to some apartment. Now let's talk about the cons that you need to watch out for. Let's be real, there's no free lunch and there is no perfect play. So con number one, you're a landlord while you're living there. That means you're going to be dealing with tenant issues. You're going to be dealing with maintenance requests. You're going to have noise complaints. You're not only the neighbor, you're also the landlord, and that can get awkward really fast if you're not prepared. Set up your SOPs, your systems, your leases, and your boundaries. They're the key. Con number two, finding the right property takes some work. Not every duplex or quad is going to pass a VA inspection. And multifamily properties, number one, can be more competitive in some markets, and number two, you may not have comps to measure the value of that actual property. So you're going to need some patience, persistence, and maybe a little bit of elbow grease to find the right one. Con number three, man, appraisers. They're brutal, and VA appraisals can be really strict. Why though? The VA wants to make sure that you're living somewhere safe and healthy. That's a good thing, but it also means that if the property has too many issues, it's not going to pass until the repairs are made. Be prepared when you're doing your due diligence for a little back and forth during the closing process. All right, here's fifth. This is real talk. Why do I wish more vets did this? If I could go back to my 22-year-old self, just out of the Air Force, I would have done this. That's the bottom line. I'd have taken my VA loan without question. I would have lived in one unit. I would have rented out the others. I would have learned property management back then, and I would have used that cash flow to leapfrog into my next deal fast. I wish somebody would have told me what I'm telling you right now. Instead of waiting years and grinding it out, stacking tiny pay raises. Oh my God, 35 years in the military, 13 years as a cop, 4%, 2%, 1.8%. You know, you could own a tangible asset that's growing your wealth while you're sleeping. And the best part is you're using a benefit that you've already earned. You've served, you've sacrificed. This is one of those tools that is going to pay you back for the rest of your life, but it only works if you use it. I've helped out clients use their VA loans to build cash flowing portfolios. I've watched people move from house hacking to full-time investing in just a few years, but it all started with one smart move. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You just need to execute the plan. In the beginning, I promised you that there was going to be a quick checklist for using your VA loan for multifamily properties. So here it is. Okay, number one, find a duplex, triplex, or quad in good condition. Number two, confirm that you can live in it for at least 12 months. Number three, line up a lender, start now, who knows VA loans inside and out. Number four, use your rental income to boost your qualification if you can. Number five, be ready to manage tenants while you live there. Get your processes in order. Is number six, automate them like a boss. Number seven, treat it like a business from day one, and I promise you it's going to be a lot easier. If you have any questions about this or anything else that I talk about and you need help getting started, go over to budevans.com, book a totally free strategy session for a 30-minute conversation about how you can get started in real estate and make this strategy or any of the other things that I talk about a possibility. And again, if this breakdown helped you see the new possibilities, please smash the like button, subscribe for more tactical strategies that actually move the needle, and let's talk about no BS real estate investing. Real estate, guys, it's not just for the rich, and VA loans aren't just for buying the white picket fence dream home. It is a tool. It is your weapon against poverty. It is the leverage that you've earned, and you can use it to create a future with freedom and no fear. It's been a pleasure talking to you again, and until the next time, aim high.